been surrounded with life on the farm.
Teacher, sorry for the late notice, but there is a new edition of Highlighter News if you have time to show it at the end of your period.
Thanks for that. It's gone back generations in the family. I've learned so much about life outside my little world while still immersed within it. Now, a lot of these lessons came from my grandpa. Now, Grandpa was an interesting guy. He could talk to anyone, anywhere, about anything. He had a massive sweet tooth and always made sure there were plenty of goodies whenever any of us kids came to visit. He was just an all-around fun guy. Even in the seemingly short time I spent with him, I learned so much about how he could keep the pep in his step without even seeming to try at it. These are the things that Grandpa taught me that I can bet the farm on. Things worked for are immensely better than those just given to you. Humility and love outweigh all else, and be happy where you are. Now, when Grandpa was younger, he really liked playing sports. He was really good at them too. So much so that he was offered a full ride scholarship to college to play baseball. He turned it down, however, because he thought they were given to everyone. Although to many it seems like this was an opportunity wasted, he never thought anything of it. He instead took to farming, which showed itself to be his passion. He raised dairy cattle, and it really meant a lot to him. Even when milking was no longer possible, he switched over to beef. I can remember one of the last years on the farm where we had brought some of our cattle down to graze his pasture because we had too many for our own land to support. He took advantage of the opportunity, taming many of them down. The fruits of his labor truly blossomed throughout his life and were much better than any of the opportunities the scholarship could have offered. This taught me that anything that you put your hard effort into will always be better than something just handed to you. As time went on, he continued to show an attitude of humility and love. I can remember being pretty young and on a road trip and stopped at a gas station. Being the type of kid I was, I started asking Grandpa a whole bunch of questions. And somewhere along the line, I asked how old Grandma was. He just looked at me and smiled and said, "It's not polite to share the age of a lady." Somehow, this struck me, even as just a little kid. He really loved her. Even when my grandma was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer nearing the end of her life, he showed a gentleness. He went to great lengths to put her needs before his own. This showed me that especially when unexpected complications occur, family and love must prevail, and humble service is the greatest gift to give. Listening to the stories and watching his life, I saw Grandpa not just content, but genuinely happy with where he was. He loved life on the farm. It really was his passion. The part that really makes this stick out, the element that really shows this part of his character, is when he lost that life to dementia. The Mayo Clinic defines dementia as a series of symptoms affecting memory, thinking, and social abilities severely enough to impact your daily life. When this disease caught up to him after Grandma died, he started forgetting a lot of seemingly unforgettable things. Eventually, it got to the point where he needed to leave the farm for his own safety. Even when transplanted in an unfamiliar place with unfamiliar people, he was still smiling. Even when when he could no longer stand, he was still joyful. Even when he could no longer speak, he would still laugh. This has really struck me even more since his passing in October. If he can be happy when even his own mind was taken from him, why can't we all try to put a little bit more joy in our everyday lives, even if just a few things don't fall into place? You know, George Washington once said, "I'd rather be on my farm than be emperor of the world." Teddy Roosevelt agreed, saying, "I don't believe there's a life ever more attractive than life on the cattle farm." Although I agree, and I know Grandpa would too, we ought to make the best of every situation, not just the ones that seem the most glamorous in our opinion. We should work hard, love others, and find joy. And when we do, the results will stick around till the cows come home.